I want to welcome you to this beautiful state-of-the-art Health Education Center. It welcomed its first students this summer. There was a fast learning curve. This will serve as our masterpiece and focal center for health education in the future. It enables us to accommodate our increasing enrollments, and I say that increasing in a way that is meant to indicate we will continue to grow, Chancellor Milliken. That's our intent. Dr. Callender and I used to talk about how we have the faculty and the ability, if we just had the space, to increase our School of Medicine numbers and the numbers in all of our other schools. And indeed, we can do that, and it makes sense. Vice Chancellor Zerwas, to do that and not build another medical school. So we're offering you the opportunity to grow the numbers here on Galveston Island. This building enables us to accommodate not only that School of Medicine number to grow, but the School of Health Professions and Nursing and the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences. We're proud of those. Those numbers have increased by 45% over the last 10 years, and we would love to see another 45% or more over the next 10. This facility also represents so much more than bricks and mortar and glass. It represents the future of health science education and the way we will approach educating folks into the future. We consider the $91.6 million cost of this as something that is important, not just to this island on which we live, but also to the people of Texas and this nation, because how we go about this educational process is going to be transferable to health education centers all across this nation. We'll be paving the way like UTMB did with the first X-rays and so many other firsts that occurred right here on this island. The HEC is significant in its 160,000 square feet, is going to be not just the largest facility in the nation, but a world-class training center for people from all over, just like our Galveston National Lab has in training more than 4,000 people in the art and science of research in a high-level facility with select agents. We're going to be doing the same thing in this facility in a different manner. As opposed to the traditional silos of healthcare education, when everybody goes to their own room in our own building, our students are going to be all trained in this facility for their core functions in patient care. Now, how exciting does that get? Inside this facility will be unique interdisciplinary curriculums in all 4 schools, and if you can envision a buffet with different courses for learning, our students will be able to pick and choose in that buffet and broaden their courses. Often our students come in not even thinking that they would love to get a PhD with their MD or an MD with their PhD. This will be the defining place where people get an opportunity to sample that entire buffet and choose courses. We can also simulate in a very realistic manner challenging cases. I was just telling Dr. Zerwas, I prevailed upon Dr. Sutherland to program in a simulation in the elevator transferring a patient from the ambulance bay up to ICU in which the patient has a cardiac arrest on the elevator. And to have that happen, he says, oh, that happened to me. So yeah, that would be a good thing to simulate. So we'll be doing some really things. For my wife, we're not going to have any dermatological emergencies on the elevator, okay? We're grateful to our state legislators for their incredible support. $67.8 million was appropriated for our tuition revenue bond for this building. And then we were challenged with the task of going to our philanthropic and foundation communities for the remainder of the funds to build this incredible building. We're proud of the efforts and commitments that each of you in this room made, and that includes our students who, as you heard just a moment ago from Alexis Williams, that remarkable fundraising that our students did to make this happen. You'll hear more about that from Faith Mason in a moment. We're very proud of those efforts and the commitments that so many have done, and our faculty and our leadership who have worked literally into burning the midnight oil to see that this facility came online on time or ahead of time and was ready for our students and this year's class. We're thankful for each of you here today to join us in a historic moment of dedication and remembrance. We're also grateful that some of our legislative leadership have joined us. There are lots of things happening during this interim period of time in Austin, so many of them could not be here. We are very happy to have a representative of Dr. Greg Bonin. Dr. Greg Bonin is a UTMB School of Medicine graduate from 1992. He is a neurosurgeon in private practice. Prior to that, he was on our UTMB faculty and taught here at UTMB. And we're happy that Greg is represented by his wife, Kim Bonin. Kim, would you stand for a moment? Kim is a graduate of the School of Health Professions, receiving her degree in occupational therapy. Both Greg and Kim are frequent visitors to our campus and maintain wonderful mentoring relationships with many of our students by sponsoring activities here in the community and working with those students as community resources and projects. It's wonderful to have Kim here. Sometimes, and we tell Greg this since he missed a day, she's a bit more popular than him, as often happens with political wives. You know, we're also pleased to have Michael Jenkins here. Michael is the local staff district director for Representative Mays Middleton, and we are grateful that Michael has been with us for the lunch today and for this event. Michael, I don't see you with the glare on my glasses, but there you are, right by Kim. Thank you. Other dignitaries joining us today are extraordinary. Sometimes you meet a person along the way of a pilgrim's path, and they just pop up in all sorts of places, such as Ms. Janiece Longoria, the Vice Chairman of the Board of Regents. Janiece, would you please stand? She was with us at a very historic time when a moment of truth came of whether UTMB would remain here on the island. It was her support and that of other regents who led us to rebuild and to rebuild better and stronger yet. Janiece, we have spent to date over $1 billion, and that's not just Texas money. The majority of that is federal money from FEMA to rebuild our buildings healthier and stronger and with greater resilience to storm. What you see on this campus now is the result of that vision, including this building. Chancellor Milligan, thank you so much for being here today and blessing us not just with your presence, but with an affirmation of the vision for the future of this institution, for the work that you did in helping our previous president, Dr. Callender, dream of this building and make it a reality. Thank you. And Dr. Zerwas, you have been a visionary all the long way of our many visits in your legislative office in Austin, along the way when you were evolving your career path to be head or chair of the House Appropriations Committee. You have listened to many issues and many needs of UTMB and always been a friend and supporter. Thank you now in your role as Executive Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs. As we say in East Texas, who would have thunk? You know, here you are, you know. Any shortcomings are going to get taken care of, aren't they? Right. John, stand up where people can see you. And last but not anyway least, representing the University of Texas System, Senior Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs, Amy Shaw Thomas. Amy and I have known each other since 1993, a long period of time. Amy has been a source of wise counsel and wisdom all of those years to me professionally, but also to UTMB. She's a silent force in the background, always looking strategically after our future. Amy, thank you for being here. Please stand. And I hope he did not leave, but Commissioner Stephen Holmes was here at lunch. Stephen, are you there in the audience that I just don't see you? Perhaps he had to go take care of county business. Stephen is one of our county commissioners and has been a faithful and loyal supporter of UTMB on our path for growth. Thank you for all that you do, Stephen. I'd also like to recognize both former and current members of UTMB's leadership team. Back with us today for this special occasion, and never really leaving our hearts, is Dr. David Callender and his lovely wife, Tanya. David, both of you stand up, because both of you have quite a... For 12 phenomenal years, David guided our pathway from recovery and into the future. I was cleaning out some stuff the other day, and I came across some of my first notes from meetings with David. And his vision was true and sound and will last us for many, many years as a path into the future, this building being one of them. I also want to thank our academic leadership. I'll not ask all of you to stand individually, but as one, just stand and remain. Dr. Charles Mouton, our Executive Vice President and Provost and Dean of the School of Medicine. Dr. Deborah Jones. Dr. Jones is Senior Vice President and Dean of the School of Nursing. And Dr. David Brown, who's Senior Vice President and Dean of the School of Health Professions. And Dr. David Niesel, Senior Vice President and Dean of the Graduate School. Dr. Janet Sutherland, the Vice President of Interprofessional Education, Institutional Effectiveness and Health Education Center. And in addition, Dr. Tim Harlan. Dr. Harlan is the Executive Vice President and CEO of UTMB's healthcare system. Again, it's great to see everyone in attendance today. This is your leadership team, incredible people who have incredible visions that become reality like this area. You have to say, why is the CEO of the hospital involved in this leadership team? Well, you know, he directs a very important piece of our revenue production, and not just that, he recruits these young men and women who train in this facility to be members of the staff of 6 different hospitals that are now in operation. We used to have 2, but David Callender left a legacy of 6. That's quite an impressive achievement, David. Thank you. I'd like to welcome Chancellor Milligan to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Raymer, and thank you especially for the terrific job you're doing as interim president of UTMB. Your devotion that we saw at lunch and again today at this event to this historic and critically important institution is clear, and I'm pleased to know, and my colleagues at the System Administration on the Board of Regents are pleased to know, that UTMB is in good hands today. At lunch, this place has a deep and rich history. It's 128 years old, and at lunch, Dr. Raymer told the story about the telegram in 1900. Although he told it in a little different way than I'm used to thinking about it. It sits in my office for a particular reason. There's a telegram in 1900 from the head of the University of Texas Medical Branch to the chancellor saying there's a huge storm coming. I recommend we close down today. And the chancellor's telegram back immediately said, the University of Texas shuts down for no storm. Now, I don't think any of you were around in 1900, but the next day was pretty rough. And there really wasn't much of a UTMB the next day. So I keep this up as a reminder for the fallibility of chancellors and the first of probably many questionable decisions that chancellors at the University of Texas system make. So I want to add my welcome to Ben's and my deepest appreciation to all of you here today. I want to start with my friend and colleague, David Callender. Thank you for being back here, David. Thank you for my introduction to this remarkable institution over the last year. I want to say especially thank you to the donors and supporters of UTMB who helped make this day, this amazing facility possible, and who do so much for this institution year after year. So I may be a relatively new Texan, a little over a year, but I joined a group of great people who have helped me because of their deep knowledge and history of the state and of this institution and their wisdom. And I put at the top of that list Regent Janiece Longoria, who is vice chair of the board and chairs our Health Affairs Committee so ably. So thank you, Janiece. I will add my new colleague, John Zerwas, who I got to know asking him for lots of money all the time in the legislature. And I don't ask him for any, he's asking me for stuff now, so I'm not sure if I made the right trade. And Amy Shaw Thomas, who served so well as the interim and has served so well as senior vice chancellor in helping each of our health institutions. So the University of Texas system has most of the public medical schools and health institutions in the state. We award more than half of all health-related degrees in Texas and account for 2/3 of resident physicians at public institutions. And UT owned and affiliated hospitals and clinics care for millions and millions of patients every year. And it all started right here with UT Medical Branch in 1891. But the importance of this institution to the state of Texas is not historic. It has never been greater than it is today. A recent study named it among the top academic medical centers in the nation, once again, the 3rd year in a row, for clinical quality and safety. It is a crown jewel of the UT system by virtue of its history, of course, but more so because of its critical importance to Texas today. It educates 3,400 students last year, a record. And as Dr. Raymer mentioned, a 45% increase, and I'm happy to know that he is now pledged to double that. Texas needs many more health professionals, and we need to lead the way at UTMB. In research last year, $140 million spent on the toughest, most important health challenges in this country: vaccine development, fighting infectious diseases, diabetes, neurosciences, chronic diseases of aging, and more. And patient care, last year the health professions at UTMB cared for a record number of patients: 1.2 million outpatient encounters, 88,000 emergency room visits, and 6,400 babies delivered, new island residents, we hope. A successful new partnership, which I had a chance to be a part of the opening in League City, a partnership between UTMB and MD Anderson Cancer Center. A great partnership and statement for how Texas institutions can collaborate and build even stronger partnerships. So today's celebration is about how UTMB is still, after 128 years, leading the way in medical and health education. And this momentum is kicked into overdrive with the dedication and the opening of this new building. Texas is growing fast. Some people think our population will double in 30 years. And if we want this state to be healthy and prosperous, we need more physicians, more nurses, more health scientists, more occupational, physical, and respiratory therapists. And the graduates who will be in that role, in those roles for the state of Texas from this historic institution will be among the best prepared anywhere. So this is a great day for UTMB. It's a great day for Texas, and it's a great day for generations of Texans whose lives will be made better by the men and women educated at the University of Texas Medical Branch. Congratulations again, David, Ben, your colleagues, the people here who made this possible, thank you for supporting this wonderful institution.
Thank you, Chancellor Milliken. It's a privilege for me now to introduce Dr. John Zerwas, our Vice Chancellor of Health Affairs. But before I do that, John, I just want to do a shout out to some of your colleagues in the legislature, Senator Larry Taylor, former State Rep Wayne Faircloth, and Representative Greg Bonin, who all carried the legislation and voted along with you and so many others for the tuition revenue bond that made this building possible, for your vision for education and for your vision for UTMB, particularly your commitment and dedication. We just can't thank you enough for. So please join me in welcoming Dr. John Zerwas.
Well, good afternoon, and Ben, thank you for the opportunity to get to participate in this dedication ceremony, especially for one who is barely even 3 weeks on the job in this particular role. But truly, it's a great honor to get to be here with you, and the celebration that we are enjoying today. The leadership, Ben and David, that you all have provided, along with the entirety of your staff, and Regent Longoria, thank you. You're always at the forefront of all things healthcare. We appreciate that. And Chancellor Milliken, thank you for your confidence in bringing this recovering representative onto your staff, and we'll see how that goes. But truly, it's a very unique position to be in. As Dr. Raymer has said, I carried House Bill 100 in 2015, which was the tuition revenue bill, TRB we call it, for over $3 billion as an effort to try to really beef up the capital needs in our various universities and health science centers. And this was clearly seen here on this campus as a priority. And $67+ million is still a big chunk of change, even in Texas. And so that was no small amount of the entirety of that $3+ billion bill in terms of advancing the education of future generations of not just physicians, as we've talked about this morning, but from an entirety of a team of healthcare professionals that it's going to take in order for us to meet the healthcare needs of the state of Texas. I think Ben made a passing comment about we may not need any more medical schools. We'll just do more here. But the one point I can make very clear is that we will never be able to train enough doctors to meet the healthcare needs under the current style that we provide that healthcare. That healthcare is going to have to be provided in the way that people are being trained to do it and are going to be trained to do it in this building. And that is in a broad, team-based type of care that's going to be delivered. That is how we are going to deliver health care to every citizen in the state of Texas, combined with the great work that's been done here in telemedicine. UTMB has absolutely led, right from the beginning, of course, but has led so many of the innovations in healthcare. And this building is certainly a reflection of that, where we're going to see students from all different sectors of the health professions come together, work as teams, work in harmony to deliver that care. I'm just so proud to see that this has come to fruition. I'm proud to have been the opportunity to have been the author of the bill, and today to walk in the halls of this building that at the time that we passed that bill, and Greg Bonin and Wayne Faircloth were big parts of that with me. Kimberly, thank you for letting him spend time in the legislature. I know it's a great sacrifice on spouses, but truly it was a heavy lift by a lot of my colleagues, including Senator Taylor on the other side of the legislature. And so it's one of these things that I can take just tremendous pride in. But most importantly, what I feel so blessed to get to be part of is a part of the UT system, the part of the UT family who sees these needs going forward. The vision that the people who work here see that we're going to need in order to deliver the best in healthcare in the future. And once again, it started here at UTMB, and it's going to continue here at UTMB. Congratulations on this new facility, and I look forward to seeing the generations of new healthcare providers come out of this that are going to meet the needs of all of us as Texans. Thank you all very much.
Now it's a real pleasure, the moment you have waited for, the dedication of this building. We're really privileged to have Vice Chair of the Board of Regents, Ms. Janiece Longoria. Janiece, thank you for spending your day down with us in Galveston, and thank you for putting this building officially commissioned as a UT system property.
Thank you, Dr. Raymer. It's such a pleasure to be here on this beautiful day as we celebrate the dedication of the Health Education Center here at UTMB. Let me say first, you've heard from Chancellor Milliken and Vice Chancellor Zerwas, and aren't we fortunate to have this duo at the UT system? I am confident that we will have no speed bumps with the legislature, right? And I also want to thank my friend Amy Shaw Thomas. You've given the Board of Regents and Health Affairs particularly impeccable judgment and advice over the years, and so I really appreciate what you do. Now, in my view, the single most important function of the Board of Regents is to support the missions of our institutions and the visions of our presidents. The vision for this state-of-the-art facility was brought to us and enthusiastically embraced in 2010. And interestingly, this is now coming full circle for me because I was on the Board of Regents at that time when the project was approved. I rolled off the Board of Regents for 6 years, and then I was appointed by Governor Abbott for a 6-year term in 2017. So I was there to approve this important facility. I'm now here to dedicate the building and accept it on behalf of the Board of Regents, which gives me great satisfaction. So thank you, Dr. Callender, for the vision in bringing this state-of-the-art facility to us for approval. It's important not only to the future of UTMB, but also to this region and to the entire state of Texas. And Dr. Raymer, UTMB could not be in better hands today. Thank you for your leadership. So, the fun part. On behalf of the Board of Regents, I am very pleased to accept the UT Medical Branch Health Education Center as we all work together for the betterment of health education, research, and patient care. Congratulations.
Vice Chairman Longoria, thank you for your very kind words, and thank you for being a visionary in 2010 and seeing the potential of this vision from Dr. Callender. Now it's a real pleasure for me to introduce to you someone that I met the first day of medical school for her, Faith Mason, a member of our School of Medicine class of 2020. Faith's a young lady who has had an extraordinary career here at UTMB. She became the president of the student AMA-TMA Society, took us up on the opportunity, John, to go up to Student White Coat Day at the Capitol and led a pilgrimage of 100 students from UTMB around the Capitol, requesting one thing, not something for UTMB, but something for the state, and that was an increase in funding for graduate medical education. You guys heard her and her colleagues, and you answered with a $60 million increase that year, and the following year, she and her colleagues went back, and it was another $40 million. An incredible step in the right direction for graduate medical education. On that visit, Faith met many of our alumni, Deborah Fuller and others who are here today, who made that investment in education. So it's a real pleasure now. Faith has continued her journey of leadership, is the president of the UTMB Student Government Association, represents our entire student body of 4,000 people in our 4 schools. She wholeheartedly supported this building as contributions were gathered, and more importantly, as a future healthcare leader of our state, she has led that direction for funding and growth in her own classmates. something that often is unheard of. So Faith, we would love to hear your comments about what this means to you and your classmates.
But to all, hello and good afternoon to everyone who is able to join us today for the dedication of the new UTMB Health Education Center. I am honored to be given the opportunity to speak on behalf of the UTMB student body as this building is formally dedicated. I would like to invite my fellow Student Government Association officers to stand and be recognized. Our Vice President, Nithin Thaimural. He's from the School of Health Professions. Our Treasurer, Clint Haynes, from the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences. Our Secretary, Elizabeth Mays, from School of Medicine. And our Senate Chair, Jacqueline Gracia, also from the School of Health Professions. And I believe if he's here, a senator from our School of Nursing, Daniel Garcia. There you go. We would like, on behalf of the UTMB student body and our officers, we would love to thank the Board of Regents, the Texas legislators, the many faculty, staff, alumni, and the foundations and other friends of UTMB who contributed to this building. When this building construction began, it began as I, myself, and many of my fellow students, including Alexis, as her mother loves to remind her, began our training in medical education and health sciences. Since day one, we have been encouraged to pursue interprofessional relationships and in our medical training, education, and health careers. We have enjoyed leading students from our SGA's perspective in supporting projects and projects that support the same type of relationships, including participating in the student campaign to raise money for this building as well to show our support. This facility and the learning that goes on within it will benefit not only our students, but also every person touched by the care our graduates will provide and the discoveries that they will make in the future. We are so excited to envision all of the good that will come from this. From all of our current students, and on behalf of the future generations of students who will also train in this facility, our heartfelt thanks for your support. Thank you.
It should be a great comfort to those of you who are sitting out there that the future of healthcare is going to be in the hands of individuals like Faith and her colleagues sitting back here. That's quite a future. And Alexis, we hope your laboratory is a very productive one, not just well-funded, as you mentioned today, but some of us older folks want those scientific breakthroughs to come at rapid pace. What an incredible group of students that you have touched today with your philanthropic and foundation gifts. What a time for gratitude to everyone in this building and those who are not here today that have made contributions. Their support is a testament of our spirit of collaboration and ongoing commitment to define the future of healthcare, not just at UTMB, but everywhere. It is that ability to dream dreams and see those dreams become reality. To hear something 10 years ago and come back and dedicate that to the service of all Texans and all students everywhere. On the walls around this building, as you look, you will see people's names. Their names will be linked forever in a legacy in this building of that mission to serve others before self and to also dream dreams that become realities. As you walk the halls and tour after this dedication, you'll see those names on panels and plaques and other things. People didn't just put their names out to be seen. They put their names on a plaque for people to live a better life. And that's the magic. It's a vehicle that the University of Texas system provides for all of us in this building. We appreciate your confidence, the confidence that each of you have shown in us at UTMB. and the strategic direction which your management team here guides this institution, the faith you put in our deans to be good stewards of the resources, the endowments, and the gifts that you give them, the faith that you put in our management of your hard-earned dollars as you give them to this institution. On behalf of the entire UTMB community throughout the state of Texas and beyond, all 13,500 of our employees and the tens of thousands of graduates of this institution, thank you for being here today with us, for making a difference. Please join us now for a reception. Take part in a self-guided tour of this facility and see what your future has brought the students in this state and beyond. Thank you.